Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 36 of our Be a Better You annual challenge. And today we are going to start, and for the next 4 days, or for a total of 4 days, we're going to go through and apply the SOAP framework. SOAP framework is one of my favorite frameworks right now. I started using it in 2020 during the pandemic to get up and go and keep moving, and did a couple years of a challenge. Every other month I did a 30+ day challenge called the Get Up and Go Challenge. Why? To keep me and other people that I'm connected to moving forward during a time when we just wanted to sit on the couch and watch streaming television or something, or do whatever we could do to take our mind off what craziness was going on in the world. Unless we were sick, of course, and then we were just taking care of ourselves and not feeling so sick. So the S in the SOAP framework. So that's when I came up with the SOAP framework. I said, okay, when things that we can't control happen, when challenges and problems and setbacks happen, how do I handle them? And I realized I use a simple 4-step process that I've used since I was a little kid, and a kid or a child or a teenager, and in college for sure, and as a young adult and raising my family. I have a process that I use. Well, I took that process and I looked at the different parts of it, and I said, okay, well, we can form the word SOAP, which is an acronym for Story, Options, Action, and Progress. Why? Because it helps us remember the steps of the process that we're going to go through as we learn it and apply it and practice it in our life. Because the more we use something, the more it becomes an automatic tool in our toolbox that we can use whenever we need it. And for me, the SOAP framework is that tool. I use it, I think, almost every single day on a subconscious level. I'm using the SOAP framework for different things. So S in the SOAP framework stands for story. And the first step of the process is to say, okay, where am I at right now? What is my current story? What is my level of confidence with respect to this area that I want to improve? And I'll share Kelly's story with you in a minute, and I'll talk about what I'm going to do as part of this and going through the SOAP framework. And our action item today is going to be, hey, write down a couple of keywords or phrases or sentences or paragraphs, or write a book if you want. What's your current story? And then the second part of it is, what's your desired story? Why? Because we need to know where we are, but we also need to know where we want to go. Otherwise, we just stay where we are over and over and over again. We keep doing the same things, thinking the same things, behaving the same way, and we get the same results that we've always gotten, unless we know where it is we want to go, because that forms a gap between where we are and or what's going on right now and what we want it to be. And that tension, it's positive tension. I call it eustress, because it's the opposite of de-stress. De-stress is bad and negative and hurts us. Eustress motivates us to take action and move and change and grow and stretch our comfort zone and all those good things that give us positive results in our life. So I'm actually going to track Kelly's story, since we started with Kelly in the 7Y exercise. I thought, okay, well, that's a good person. She's got a good background to share her story through the SOAP framework this time. And I will tell you what her current story is. I'll just give you some bullet points, and I will tell you what her desired story is. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to just sit down and think about, well, what's going on with this area of confidence that I want to improve right now? I like to use the SOAP framework for things that aren't perfect yet or that I want to improve. Unlike the ideance process that we're going to use at the end of the month, I like to use that process or that framework for an improvement and a long-term improvement project, something that I really want to create throughout the rest of the year as we go through the challenge. And so then I'll automate parts of that so that they haven't automated. But we'll talk about that when we get to it, which will be at the end of this month. So let's get my magnifying glass and take a look at what are some of the elements that Kelly wrote down about her current story. Number one, she has a fear of criticism. Like, she takes it personally, and she hesitates to share because she has a fear of criticism, and she doesn't want to get criticized because she lets outside people's opinions of her matter more than her own. She has an attachment to external validation, meaning she fluctuates, and her level of confidence fluctuates based on the kind of feedback or the kind of even nonverbal feedback she's getting from other people. She takes and puts more emphasis on that than she does on how she feels about how she did something or her performance. And that all impacts her confidence, primarily in a negative way, because people are faster to judge than they are to encourage. I don't know why, but it comes naturally for most people. She avoids growth opportunities and stays away from them because she doesn't want to get feedback. She figures it's better to not get any feedback, so don't ruffle any feathers or do anything outside the norm that will get attention, because And growth opportunities will do that, because when you grow, you get feedback and people say, oh, that's awesome. How are you doing? Whatever. And she doesn't want any of that. She just wants, I guess she just pretty much wants praise and accolades. She doesn't want to do anything that actually makes a positive impact or difference, because she's afraid to. And then she wrote that she has diminished self-worth because every rejection seems like a personal slight. It doesn't feel like it's that, and it puts into question to her capability. And that, if we don't think we're capable, we don't feel confident. And so she feels a lot of times like she's not good enough. So what's her desired states? Of course, she wants to view feedback as a learning tool and an opportunity for refinement and growth, because she actually knows on a conscious level that feedback is good, and that's how we improve, is by having people let us know what's working and what's not working. She wants to detach from rejection and detach it from her self-worth, and realize that rejection and no's are just stepping stones, just like mistakes and failures and things that don't work out the first time. They're just steps. They're just, they're part of the journey. They're not a be all or end all of anything that we choose to do. She wants to build confidence from within, instead of looking for outside validation. And she wants to leverage challenges for growth and embrace challenges for personal and professional development. So she wants to be, jumping in and helping to solve problems and create change in her organization and for her business. She doesn't want, she's starting a coaching business. Now I got to say, these are some basic things that coaches need to overcome. But guess what? Once she overcomes these things and figures them out, she can share how she did it with other people. And that's great. Coaching from a place of personal experience is extremely powerful. I think some of the best exchanges I have with consulting and coaching clients are when I can share specific stories of when I've been in a similar situation, how I handled it, what worked, what didn't work, and what they could try in their situation. So I am going to use the situation of increasing my confidence to launch a new personal passion project, a new project that I've wanted to do for at least 10 years now, and I haven't done it. And I've always used the excuse of I don't have time, but it's probably more a little bit of fear. So I'm going to work through my current story and my desired story with respect to that today and for the next 3 days as well. Our tool today is the compliment habit. And this is kind of double whammy. I'm kind of doubling everybody up this month, including myself, with respect to I want to share more tools. I want to really give us a bunch of tools in our confidence toolbox. So today's tool is the compliment habit. It's the habit of once a day complimenting somebody on something, authentically, sincerely complimenting somebody on something. Why? Because we get out of life what we put into it. If we're putting out good things and positivity, love and compliments, and sincerely noticing things that are awesome, we will get more of those coming into our life. So, story, current, desired, just like Kelly and I will do a couple of sentences about what's going on, a couple of sentences about what you want. And a secret here is usually you can start from either what you want and get backwards to know what is that isn't working, or you can list out what is, and usually massive improvement or the opposite of that is actually what we desire. Funny how that works, but that seems to be the way it works most of the time. All right, any questions, thoughts, concerns, hit me up and ask. Otherwise, have fun with this. Go compliment somebody today, because it makes you feel good, it makes them feel good, and it might just be the highlight of their day. Have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.